The Maelstrom's Edge video rulebook is a series designed to be viewed in order. Watching these videos out of order may result in some confusion. Welcome back everyone. In this video we'll continue to examine the structure of a turn in Maelstrom's Edge, this time focusing on the action phase. After the command phase is the action phase. This is where all the models are moved and shoot. We're not actually going to move or shoot any of the models in this video, but we're going to show you how activation works as a general concept. When it's a player's chance to activate, they have the option to activate either 1 or 2 units, and they can even activate 1 unit first, see how it performs, and then decide whether or not to activate the second unit. Play continues like that until all the units have been activated. However, there are a couple of important exceptions to this. The first is the priority player gets the very first activation automatically, but they only get to activate a single unit. That's the penalty they suffer for getting to go first. In this case, Danielle is the priority player, so she's going to activate her big bruiser of a hunter first. You do need to mark your activated units in some way. The back side of your command point tokens work perfectly for this. So Danielle activates her hunter, who moves, shoots and causes damage. Her activation is then complete and it passes over to Matt. Matt has the option to activate 1 or 2 units. Since he wants to do as much damage as possible off the bat, he decides to activate the Kadar Nova leading some Karish troopers, and he activates the Mature Angel, and they both move, shoot and cause damage. Activation then passes back over to Danielle. Danielle is afraid of the Tempests that will be arriving as a reinforcement this turn, and she wants to see exactly where they're going to arrive first. So she decides to only activate a single unit, the Spider Drones, before passing activation back over to Matt. Matt hasn't quite figured out what she's doing yet, so he keeps activating 2 units at a time. He activates the Shadow Walker and the Angel Minnows over in the back. He's now activated every unit he has on the table. Activation now goes back to Danielle, and she's still waiting on those Tempest Elites, so she just activates her Journeyman Bot Handler and Contractor units before passing right back to Matt, telling him to take his final activation. Unfortunately for her, the other exception is that the non-priority player, who is Matt this turn, always has the option to get the last activation of the turn, even when they're in a position like Matt is now, where he should be taking his final unit activations. But in this case, Matt finally realises what is going on, and he wants to wait with his last unit, so exercises his options and tells her, "No, Danielle, I'm going to take the last activation of the turn," which means that Danielle has to activate her last 2 units, her Scarecrow and the Firefly drones. Matt, being the non-priority player, then gets the last activation of his Tempests. He moves them on from the board edge. We'll just set them over here to represent that, and they've now been activated. There you have it. All the units have now been activated, which concludes the action phase. Thanks for watching, and make sure to check out our next video where we'll continue to break down the turn overview, this time focusing on the end phase.